Hello my friends, welcome to The Path Less Traveled. My name is Ryan Wilkes and welcome to another gear video. Today I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite vlogging lenses for the Micro Four Thirds system, and hopefully by the end of this video you're going to have a better idea as to what lens is best for you depending on the camera you have and depending on where you're at in your vlogging career. So with that said, let's get into it. The first few lenses I'm going to talk about I actually don't have anymore. I've had them before in the past, but I've gotten rid of them to upgrade to some of the lenses you're going to see later. So the best lens for vlogging when you're just starting out, you're brand new, is your kit lens. Usually you can get a lens for a really good deal when you buy a camera body, and I really encourage you to do that. If you are going with a Panasonic, particularly the G85 or the G7, you might get either the 12 to 60 millimeter f3.5 to 5.6, which was my first vlogging lens and the first lens that I had with my G85. It was the kit lens and it was fantastic. It's really good. Or you might get the 14 to 42 f3.5 to 5.6. That's another option. Or the 12 to 32 f3.5 to 5.6. The only real difference between these lenses is the focal length. So the 12 to 60 obviously has a full frame equivalent 24 to 120 focal range. That is awesome. You can get everything from like wide to like regular vlogging distance all the way to, you know, pretty close up detail shots of things far away. So that was a great lens, and honestly I'm thinking about picking up the 12 to 60 f2.8 to f4 that Panasonic just released with Leica not too long ago, because it's such an awesome focal range to have in one lens. The 12 to 32 is a fantastic little lens. It is so tiny, such a low profile, and it's like a pancake when it sits on, when you have it on your camera. It's barely noticeable. And so if you're looking to be conscious about size and like footprint of your camera, I would definitely check out the 12 to 32. The 14 to 42 is also very small. They all have about the same aperture, so you're not going to get super good low light performance out of these, but during the day they're going to be just fine and work really well for vlogging. I wouldn't want to go too much narrower than 14 millimeters for vlogging, just because you start having to reach really far away in order to get kind of a good, comfortable vlogging frame. So 14 is kind of where I would cap that. In my opinion, 12 millimeters or wider is a really good focal length for vlogging. Okay, with those few first lenses out of the way, it's time to get into some of the more prosumer, professional lenses that I use for vlogging. This is the Panasonic 12 to 35 f2.8 version 1. They actually just released version 2. Both are fantastic, and there's not really any differences between the lens. From all the reviews I've read and watched on YouTube, nothing really different. But on the plus side, the price of version 1 has been dropping lately, so you can pick this up for cheaper since version 2 has come out. What I love about this lens is the versatility of the focal length and the wide aperture. f2.8 means you can get pretty good low light performance, which is important for the Micro Four Thirds sensor. Because we have a smaller sensor, we don't get as good low light performance, as you guys know. So we really have to shell out a little bit more cash for quality lenses if we want to get that low light performance. So the f2.8 here is pretty wide and gives us that ability to actually get some shots at night if we need to. If I'm ever going out and I'm only taking one lens with me, which never really happens anymore, but if I was, I would bring this one, because 12 to 35, versatile focal length, robust build, just a fantastic lens. Image stabilized. So pairing this with my Panasonic G85 gives just silky smooth stabilization with the dual stabilization that Panasonic now has, and I just love this thing. And finally, my number one choice for the best vlogging lens for the Micro Four Thirds system now is this guy, the Olympus. Where's the name here? It's such a long name. The Olympus M Zuiko Digital 7 to 14 f2.8 Pro lens. This thing is an absolute beast. Dust proof, freeze proof, splash proof. I've actually done a full review on it, so go check it out. And just look at how beautiful that is. Oh. Just awesome. Just so much glass. So the reason I love this so much is it's got the wide aperture just like the Panasonic I just showed you guys, the f2.8. You know, it's got the same robust build. I love this because of the unique perspective you get from such an ultra wide angle lens. That's 7mm on the wide end, equivalent to 14mm in a full frame camera. You just get this cool perspective. It means that you can hand hold the lens like this, and you can vlog at this distance without having a big gorilla pod or anything like that. It's really cool. And you know, some bigger vloggers have been using them lately, like John Olson. I don't think he's using this one. I think he's using the Panasonic 7-14, but he's been using ultra wide, and yeah, you get some distortion on the edges, but I think it's cool. You know, it kind of sets you apart from other people, and you know, you will pay dearly out of your pockets for this lens. This will run about $1,400 US, but you know, you pay for the quality. This thing is absolute quality. It is one of the best ultra wide angle lens from any system that you can get, and I absolutely love it. Hopefully that gives you guys a little idea of some of the options for vlogging lenses for the Micro Four Thirds system, particularly Panasonic lenses I went over today, minus the one Olympus, which is my favorite lens. It is, oh, it's so good. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for any gear videos that you want. All of the lenses that I mentioned today will be linked in the description, so make sure you go check them out if you're interested in more information. This definitely was not a comprehensive review, just letting you guys know what's out there and what the options are and what I think you should get depending on where you're at in your journey. You know, if you're just a brand new filmmaker, brand new vlogger, stick with your kit lens, get really familiar with that and push it to its limits before upgrading to another lens. Then when you upgrade, go for something like the 12-35 that I showed you. It's super versatile and you can use it for a lot of different stuff. The Olympus that I showed you, well, it's cool to have and it's nice to have. It's definitely a specialized lens, and you know, it might not be practical for you to get that, even though, you know, it is pretty damn cool and I love it. So with that said, guys, have a wonderful day and I will see you in the next video.